just want to say welcome to Together We Rise, Building Our Nation. It's a platform, as I said, where each one help one, each one teach one, and it's a community and it's a platform. Well, today we have with us no other than Carl Wright, no stranger to the cricketing world, man who hails from St. Elizabeth in Jamaica, who have played cricket for Jamaica under 19, played national for Jamaica, traveled to the USA where he played for the US national team. Now he's back in Jamaica with his knowledge and his experience coaching the youths of St. Elizabeth, to be more specific, St. Elizabeth Technical High School, head coach of the cricket. We just want to say welcome, Carl Wright, to the platform Together We Rise, Building Our Nation.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, Mr. Wright. We know it's been a long season, been a busy season for you. In terms of cricket, a lot of cricket I know been playing, and I know it's a lot when you are single-handedly the man in charge there at St. Elizabeth Technical High School. But first, I just want to say congratulations for taking home the Headley Cup, which is the prize cup in schoolboy cricket in the rural area. Also taking home the Sparling Cup, the under 16, went to the finals in the under 14. In the T20, didn't have that much luck in taking home the championship, but made this final in the rural area and the semi-finals for the All Island. That's quite an achievement. But we know it doesn't happen just like this. So first, I want to say to you, Carl, all right, congratulations, but we want to start with challenges. Could you tell us some of the challenge that you face in the beginning? We know, it's been a new role for you, probably the second year in, you know, and you have already brought in a few titles to the school. But could you just share with us some of the difficulties that you face as a coach, coaching schoolboy cricket?
Um, the challenges, most of the challenges we face is just dealing with, like, sometimes because it's only one person at the helm. So Headley Cup start in January, as you know, and under 16 start probably about the next month after that. Then the under 14 will start in like March, April, in those type of format. But the challenges that I face is that when I'm not around, there's no one to there for the youngsters. So, and like in modern day cricket at the moment, once nobody is supervising the kids, you cannot have them out there playing because safety comes first. So the challenges is that the cricket could have been like much better this season if I had an assistant. So that's basically most of my challenge, because once you're not there, you cannot have no formal training or anything. So is it lie between that and other challenges is there still, but that is the most like common one. It's kind of hard when you want to have to deal with 35, 40 kids. Sometimes it becomes like overbearing, just like if you have a class and it's like overcrowded. But sports is kind of different. It's more like fun, so you can always work your way around it. But as I said before, it's just hectic and a lot of cricket being played, as you said before. So if there's a lot of cricket being played, you have to prepare yourself mentally, physically, and as a coach, you have to have the right things in place for you to get results. So I mean, like,
If
for
you could
me,
speak up a little, Carl, right, and probably lay back a little so we can see your face, just as you see, yeah, right here. So
yeah, as I was
you could
saying, the challenge is, for you to get good result, you have to have like the proper system in place. And when one person is in charge of like 35, 40 youngsters, it becomes like really, really hectic. And as I said before, when you're not at school, say for example, we have an under 16 game, and we have a Headley Cup game the next day, and then next 2 days we have a next under 16 game. There's no formal training going on. So like most of the youngsters, they missed out on a lot when you don't have an assistant or somebody to cover for you. So, it's been that way for a while. I'm not complaining, but it's a challenge.
Okay. All right. Now, I know that in itself is a challenge. What about the students player basically? How about the discipline these days? Because as we heard, the discipline is far different from our days. When you compare to now, I know especially cell phone. Cell phone become a big distraction, whether we like it or not. You know, a child seem to spend more time on the cell phone than they want to spend on the field. And I've talked to a lot of people, and this seems to be a big challenge. So, could you speak on a student in terms of their responsibility, showing up and so forth?
Yeah, well, that's, I mean, it's difficult because, like, it's not like in our time. Our time, like, we used to be dedicated. We used to want to go outside and play. Now, you know, parents, it's kind of different in raising their child. Like, from a child is like 3 years old, you have an iPad, you have a tablet, or whatever gadgets he might have. So these kids get accustomed to that. Back in our time, it used to be like once we reach a certain age, it's a cricket ball, or it's a bat, or it's a football, or something to do with sport, or something to do with social intervention. So, like, at this stage, it's very, very challenging, and like you just have to find your way to maneuver around it. And the discipline is not like us, because if coach is not at training, no training is gonna happen. Nobody can really stay there and organize the training because it's gonna be something. It's not like in our days. So the challenges is all about like how the kids grew up. The kids grew up to be like, I wouldn't say it was selfish, but the parents grow their kids to be like somewhat of, I don't care, and as long as it's not affecting me. And it's difficult. And as you can see, it's in the current cricketing world now, especially in the Caribbean, it is showing because, like, at our age, like we never you can be a testament to it. At our age, we never need coach to be a training for us to train. Because it's something that we wanted to do. Cricket is not really that something that kids actually want to do. Sometimes you really have to force them to do it. And if you force them to do it, you're not going to get the best out of them. So some of the times you just got to let go and let them understand when they see the other kids excelling, they always want to come back. So it's the phone, the tablet, the iPads, all these gadgets, the distraction, the way how the music been portrayed now, it's a challenge. And I don't know, but there's a quote in the Bible that said, there shall be water in abundance, but the fool won't get any. Because we cannot have all this money exposing all over the world, and the parents are not instill certain principle in their kids. Listen to me. Even though you go to school, academics is first, but cricket is a career. And no doctor, no prime minister, no governor general cannot make the salary that a cricketer in the Caribbean makes. So the emphasis need to go back on the parents. We need to stop giving these kids these gadgets, buy them a football, buy them a cricket bat, buy them a ball, introduce them into the cricket from early, and then we can have better cricketers. And it won't be so challenging when it comes in terms of the discipline, because you know nobody never have to tell us that you have to train, because the person who trains the most, that's the person who going to always get the most result, because it is just like that. Cricket is the way how you treat it. So if they're treating the cricket with certain type of discipline, the volume speak for itself. But as coaches, we have to have different ways is to go around it, and it's like it's difficult. I'm not gonna say it's an easy job. It's a very, very, very difficult job, and I'm speaking from my heart. I'm not speaking off the tongue. You know, I mean, like cricket is my life. Cricket is my passion. Cricket is my everything. But it's really, really tough when you have to deal with different individuals, different kids from various homes, different background. You know, but we try to maneuver around it and do the best we can.
Right, all right. So we know you're a past student of this noble institution. This is more of a personal question. Could you tell me what it means or how does it feel to be back at the school where majority of your schoolboy days would have been spent right there at States, playing for St. Elizabeth, playing for Jamaica, you know, tell us how do you feel in the fact that you are now able to give back to these youths, just like say JB would have given to you or instill in you some of these discipline.
Well, yeah, it's like it was like first like when I got the call, I was very, very reluctant, I didn't it's not something that I wanted to do, But then after a while I speak to JB and he's like, Rifle, what are you doing? You're not gonna take the job. I mean like JB, I have to think about this because this is not something that I wanted to do. But I tell himself he give me a couple of hours and I'm gonna call him back. Then after he I didn't call him back, he called me and said, what are you doing? But by that time I've done absorb everything and know that listen me, Stets don't owe me anything. I owe Stets. Because that's where I spent most of my young life, learn my trade, understand how it is to become a person, a better individual, and the school call upon you. And once you're in the position that you can give back, is always a good feeling, and it means a lot. Like the word can even explain. I'm getting really emotional right now because like Stets is my everything from the bottom of my heart, and you're supposed to know that, Ian. Everything is about Stets, and it's a pleasure to be there. We just wanna continue the great legacy because there are some great individuals that build a platform for me and you to build on right now. Because if it wasn't because of this great institution, it wouldn't be no argument about anything right now. Probably would have been somewhere having a beer, somewhere with our family doing other things, but because of this great institution that we all attended, it's like it's emotional, and it's all like they always said, it's just one Stetson. And whenever you get the call, you just have to just weather the storm and dust up. And even if you're not ready, you gotta get ready. So you have to be ready when it comes to stats.
All right, all right. So I know you've been there at St. Elizabeth Technical High School. While being there, and I think you're there 2 years now, right? This is
Yeah,
your
two
second
years.
year. All
Yeah.
right. Have you identified like a particular player who reminds you of yourself when you were growing up and starting out?
The comparison is kind of difficult, but I see glimpses. I see like people who really have the potential because like it kind of hard to compare because like at the level that we was at this time, like the cricket is not up to that par. But I'm trying to instill my philosophy and my way of doing things and try to because I can give you one instance, right? When we was playing the Sparling Cup, right? We was on the second day. If you can remember, we had bowled out. I don't remember exactly how much we had bowled out excessive, but we was batting in the evening, and the captain, as you know, the current captain Tyreek Bryan was batting. And like when we have the team meeting, I was saying to them, listen to me. When I was in high school, I used to make a century before lunch, and they look at me and they're like, no coach, that can happen. And so said, so done. No coincidence. He went in the Sparling Cup and reached 100 before lunch. And the second day, So like you see glimpses, and you see people who trying to really listen to what you're saying and really buy into what you're saying and really follow the way of how you're trying to teach them how to play the game and how what can they achieve and the type of heights that they can reach. Because dealing with youngsters, you have to sell whatever you are doing to them. You have to let them buy into it. And you see glimpses because you see like Binns, Tyreek, James, all of these guys, they have the potential to reach the heights like what we was, but like it's all on their desire is how much they really wanted, how much they have. Because nowadays, like if you tell a youngster that you're not pushing out your front foot too much, you're not putting out the front foot enough, they question you and they ask you, and you be like, "What are you saying?" And they're like, "No, but everything is a challenge. It's not that they're going to mind now. It's not that you're going to tell a youngster something, but he's not going to question it. But it's like too much because you need to just sometimes, they say the best learner is the best listener. So, as I said before, glimpses, those three individuals right there is like they have the potential to reach like our par, like and can give us like good remembrance like when we used to go to school. But it's kind of hard to compare because the cricket is not up to that par because you couldn't you couldn't like States will never get back like back in the days. It's semi-final and final. You're gonna expose the number 4 batsman like right to the second one, first one. Everything is gonna be like just 1 and 2. So it's different, But these guys have the talent. The talent is not short. It's just that they do not work hard enough, and you cannot really instill that into them too much because they just don't work hard. And this year, Tyreek worked hard. Bings was like not really where he should have been. James very disappointed this year because we win Headley Cup, and actually he probably played like 4 matches, like the best fast bowler in the country at schoolboy level. And it's all about like the dedication. They're not dedicated enough, so it's not about the talent. It's not that they can't reach the heights that we was, but it's just not there. The work ethics, the attitude towards the game. It's all about how you treat the game, But otherwise, from that, glimpses is there. Yeah.
Right, we just want to take a minute here to welcome Mr. Delroy, and he's over there in Mayday, working also with the youths, a man who will love and respect cricket. Delroy, welcome to the platform. I'm not sure if you're able to turn your phone, Delroy. Uh, I'll give you a minute. You could go out and come back. Just put it on auto rotate. So you could do that in a minute. All right, Carl Wright. So, James, why? I have to ask. I know a lot of people was looking for him. This season, as you said, one of the best fast bowler. Was it due to injury or just the fact that he did not perform to par? What happened? If you don't mind.
It's a combination of both. Angel and when you're not dedicating yourself to like I don't know, like trying to find the word to say it. When you're not committed. Because everybody look forward to come back from an injury. But it's not the injury that you get, it's how you come back. And I think he didn't like push out that effort to really come back to training, come back and do the right things. And it's telling now, probably gone like 4 wickets in the under 19 tournament. It's a World Cup year. Bowling in shambles, doing all kind of madness all over the shop, But hopefully he can get it right, But it's all about him. He's just I don't think these kids like dedicated. Once they hear that, oh, they're the next thing up, they feel like that's it, But when we hear when back then when we heard about like we the next thing up, we probably use the back of torch and chain again. So it's As you said, Ian, it's difficult. These kids have different distraction, they have different agenda, and there's so much money to be made. So it's just that I don't think he was committed to playing this year. I don't think so.
Okay. So I guess he lacked the vision of
Yeah, but
how big cricket is and his talent is, and I think
mhm,
he better be careful right there because cricket, as we say, it's a discipline game and it's bigger than any one of us, as JB would tell us. You know,
exactly.
all the greats that have passed, they're gone, they're not playing, but cricket, the game still continues.
Yeah,
Somebody's
I
always
don't.
there
Yeah,
to take your place.
definitely.
All right, now, Carl Wright. So we want to talk about now the prize trophy, which was the Headley Cup. Going into the Headley Cup season, um, did you see yourself going all the way, taking home the cup, or was there a particular team that you were probably worried about, based on your camp and what was going on inside the camp there?
Well, all right. Yeah, like when look like this year, last year we could have won. So this year we look and we see that these teams are not better than us. We just need to commit ourselves to the cause or play to the best of our ability. Like there was no doubt that we could win Headley Cup. Like these guys never have a doubt. One thing about these guys, trust me, they are very motivated. They believe, even when I would say certain things to them, they'd be like, "Coach, just believe." Because like when you see them doing stuff and you be like, "Oh, this is gonna lead to that," they'd be like, "Coach, no, just believe." So there was never a doubt that we're going. But like you're gonna always get a good challenge from Taki. You're gonna get a good challenge from Manchester. You're gonna get a good challenge from Homewood. But we always think that we could overcome this challenge with the talent that we have and if we play to the best of our ability. And what we did this year most, we do a lot of feeling. Like we emphasize most of our training on feeling. I think we was the best feeling team in the whole country this year in terms of schoolboy cricket because we emphasize on that because last year we lose matches because of our feeling. We drop a lot of catches because we have Manchester 4 for 4. We could have them 4 for 5. We drop Paget Nelson. He come back and make a 50, and that's what cost us the game. So this year last year we analyzed this season. Now we come back and we say, listen, me, everybody have to learn to feel, and you are not going to play unless you can able to save 20, 25 runs. If you could make 50 and you give away 25, you are not playing. And we try to play the cricket and keep the cricket just like that. And eventually it work out because we know it's gonna work. Because you can bowl people out, but how you gonna bowl people out? You have to have a good fielding team. So we mostly do a lot of that.
All right. I'll just give you a quick break there, Carl Wright. Welcome again, Sir Delroy. You're over there in Mayday, Delroy. We're just talking about schoolboy cricket, really, and some of the challenges that we face in the school. Delroy, just give us a quick breath. You've been there in Mayday. Some of the challenge that you may have over that side.
Well, good afternoon, Carl and Ela, Ethan. Nice seeing you guys again. Schoolboy cricket challenge remains the same, basically everywhere. Um, to develop a cricket program, you need proper nursery where you can get the youngsters from primary school and get them into your program. In terms of costing, cricket is very expensive. And if you're not a STETHS or a Manchester, you don't get real support. Um, but we are ensuring that we develop a program. Last time we played STETHS in a final, they were very, very taken back as made it progress because we were always the underdogs. But the Mayday program is building. It will get to the stage where we can challenge anybody in Headley Cup. but it's a work in progress. And I think we'll get there, in short order.
Oh, sorry about that. Delroy, I know I have some question for Carl Wright, but I'll wait. But what I want to ask you, Delroy, with these challenges, we are now seeing what is happening in West Indies cricket. Do you think that most of these challenge is what is now spilling over to the West Indies team? How do you see that and the current West Indies?
Definitely no. That is the major problem because if you look at it, why you want to blame Sammy, right? Sammy asks you a job and you think he can do it and you give him, right? Now, if you look at Australia see the Savannah Park pitch and drop Lions, Nathan Lyon, which is one of the better spinner. And the administrators who serve around Sammy, you drop Carty. Why you drop a batsman for a spinner when you get 3 overs? Right? Some of the things is just administration, and you have administration where I can talk to Jamaica. You have people in the bodies who don't know a thing about cricket, and they are administrating, right? The no president Jamaica help elect him, So we have to take the blame. Anybody you put in an administrative role, you expect them to make wise decisions, right? The president, elected president for West Indies Cricket Board. When you employ Sammy as your national coach or the West Indies coach, it's a big error. You can't blame Sammy. Reefer, I don't think average 20 in a test and him teaching people to bat. What do you expect? Those are some of the things that you have to have administration that understand the game and can manage it properly and put the right people in place to get results,
All right, thank you. Carl Wright, I'm going to come in terms of a different angle to you. So you are a coach, you're at St. Elizabeth Technical High School. Likewise, Sammy is a coach. Given the situation that Sammy and the West Indies is going through, if that was St. Elizabeth Technical High School, who used to be, and it still is though, the champion and the team to beat in Headley Cup, but now you're going through this season and this spell, how would you deal with this situation that the West Indies is being faced with? Because everybody want to take out Sammy, so you're a coach, I'm putting you where Sammy is.
Ian, you can only play the cards that you've been dealt, And if you are getting mediocre players to play for the West Indies, you're going to get mediocre performance. As far as I'm concerned, none of these guys are at the level where they're supposed to be playing Test cricket. So I would not put the blame on Sammy. I would put the blame right across the whole players, coaches, manager, selector. It's an error by all these people because none of these guys do not look the part. Apart from Brathwaite, who is not playing. How many people in this team have a 6 or 7 Test century? And you're challenging one of the better team in the world. So when you look right across, if you are giving players opportunity to fail, they will fail. And if you don't prepare your team properly, you will fail. The bowlers are very good bowlers because they bowl out teams for under 200 in a test match, especially a team like Australia who have just lost the World Test Championship. So when you look at the bowling department, the bowlers, they are running in and they are giving up 100%. And catches being dropping all over the place. It's just that the batsmen, they are not committed to the challenge that they faces because the number one, the technical ability is not good enough, and I can tell you that because you don't need, because if you don't train in a way that you can bat for 2 days, you will never do it. And none of these guys can do that. And for you to be successful in Test cricket, you have to can bat for days, for hours. Who in this current West Indies team that you see now, if you are asking me the question, look in the mirror and ask yourself that question. Who you think can bat for a day on a regular basis? Like a Brian Lara or Jimmy Adams would do. Test cricket is all about temperament and testing people. We don't have those type of character in the team. So when as you would say, for the last couple of ICC tournaments that West Indies play, especially in the ODI, we have West Indies not involved. So it's not that it's a surprise that West Indies get bowled out for 27. It just was a matter of time before it happened. They have a high performance academy. And number one thing, we do not have enough qualified coach in the Caribbean to bring these people right through to get them prepared to be at Test cricket level. There's not enough cricket or enough emphasis being placed on those things. So if you have a fair system, you get fair result. And it can happen anywhere, even at the workplace. So I wouldn't blame Sammy, I wouldn't blame the players, I blame everybody. Because we all have to understand that it is not only Jamaica or Trinidad, is the whole Caribbean is embarrassed. You understand?
Wow. Strong one there, Carl Wright. So now, what I want to ask you, you are now bringing the grassroots kids. Do you see these kids at this level being equal to the task? Are you able to get them to the place where when they're leaving school, they have that discipline, the temperament, and the commitment to go out there and bat through a day? How is that part in terms of what you have to do? Because everybody have to play a role in this. So tell us what you see from your side.
I'm trying, but they're not ready. I'm gonna be frank. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm trying, but these kids are not ready. These kids have some other different agenda that only God can know. You can look. I don't know if you've ever been to India. I don't know if you've ever been to Australia. My girlfriend is from Australia. When you go to those countries, and if you see how these kids, even let me not even Australia. When you go to Trinidad, and you see how these kids love cricket. In Jamaica here, we don't have that. And as I'm saying, that is the problem. First of all, right, when a guy leave under 19, he might linger around, play first class cricket for 2-3 years. He's 19, 20, 21, 22. If he don't make it, he might stop. Then you see him come back when he's 26, 27. There have to be an under 23 program in the Caribbean to bridge the gap from 19 to that time when you can understand and know how to bat. It have to be a program that can make you bridge the gap. And that is where me think that they're losing it. Because once you leave under 19, if you don't go play county cricket, league cricket, or you get a contract somewhere, you live in the desert. No, there's nothing for you to do. Because at that stage, your family probably not providing for you. You have to become a man. And that's when most of these guys start to really understand what life is all about. And once you start understand what is life, you rub off in the cricket. Because responsibility is there for you. So as I'm saying, they are not up to par, but these are the things that I'm trying to instill in these guys. That, listen me, it is not about what you're not doing, it's what you need to do. You need to prepare yourself to be a man, because most kids or most youngsters, some of them are late bloomers, especially when you come to boys. A girl will develop more, the brain develop better. So as I'm saying, it have to be a under 23 tournament in the Caribbean to bridge the gap. And when I say under 23 tournament, I need a strong tournament where these guys are in camps, they are getting paid, and they are fully committed. There's too much money being given away at the international level, and there's not enough where the cricket need to be developed. And that is the problem. People can't just say, okay, I play for West Indies and I collect a whole bunch of money. What did you do? You play 10 first class match and you make 1 century. What is that? So I think say, when a guy or when a youngster leaves school and he's 19, he's 20, he's not even, if he's not exceptional, he don't even understand what the heck he's doing. But once you reach 24, 23, 24, you start to realize this is how you go about things. Because as you know, in cricket, a batsman start to really make runs at international level if you're not an exceptional talent at 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. And once you reach 33, 34, you know you get into the 40 region where so you get a 12-year worth of good cricket out of these youngsters.
All right, thank you there. Delroy, I want you to weigh in, Delroy, on this also. And when you're finished, could you put your phone on mute, Delroy? There are a lot of background noise on your side. But so could you weigh in and then you put your phone on mute?
No problem. I share some of what Carl is saying, but here's the root cause. Everything comes from grassroots. And Jamaica, I'll use Jamaica as an example. There's no grassroots programs. The batters for West Indies all out the same way, through them gate. The ball pitch in front of them and go through them gate. The batter come from outside the half stump. And I was even at Savannah Park and talking, mentioning Carl's name, which I think Carl is probably one of the better batsmen that come out of the country without no doubt. The bat was way away from the pad. Man even get beaten 3 times through the gate before him get clean ball. Right? So those are some of the things you will have seen as a batting coach in training and deal with. Back to development. You need grassroots programs. You need under 11 programs from primary school. So when Carl get a boy from primary school, he already know how to hold the bat. He already know how to play straight. He knows the basic. It's like education. There's no program in place for that, right? I mentioned to some friend of mine that US is going to dominate the cricket in this region. And them look at me like he's a madman. You know who leading the under 19 right now? Just make 305 against Barbados, the US. Why? Most states in the US that play cricket has high performance centers. We have one high performance center in Jamaica, in Barbados, right? Most of those product played in US is from Jamaicans and Caribbean coaches now, right? Who instill in the cricket in these guys. I'm from India too. So if we don't have a grassroots program, they might have some little things. I can only judge based on what I see in Jamaica. Like the under 13 tournament coming up. One weekend they might get a couple of kids and then become the under 13 team for St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon. You can't develop youngster like that. Right? And that is our problem. We have no nursery. Carl get a boy at STETHS and he can't even play straight. He don't even know how to hold the bat. It's hard work to teach a boy to hold the bat at high school. Right? And whilst West Indies was doing well, West Indies players were playing county cricket. So they could have gotten some, exposure and long playing hours in England. Once that cut, then we back to square one. Right? And that is where we have to deal with it. Proper coaching and nursery, right? Because if you don't do that, you're in a problem, serious problem, And I don't know the future, but it's very dim. And when I tell man, like I say again, I tell them US is going to dominate the region. Them look for me like my mad. You see, all right, I've gone to under 11 tournament in the US. It's 35 overs. And none of them team the ball out. Right? And them talking cricket, them playing straight, them doing all the right things. So we have some work to do, in that as it relates to that. Yeah.
Anything else you wanna add, Carl?
Well, exactly what he said, the grassroots, but you know, it's all come down to that. No primary school cricket is playing, but we the reason why that the politics of the cricket is the problem in the Caribbean. As he said, lot of high performance center in the US. I mean, the famous excuse is that, oh, America is a developed, would you say developed, is a first world country, so they have sponsorship. But we also can get the sponsorship too. But the politics where the money should be funded, as I'm saying, it is not being funded. And that is the problem. The infrastructure, as Lenk is saying, there's nothing in place. It's exactly as I tell you, it's a challenge to a kid to come from primary school and you're teaching them how to play straight. I remember when I leave primary school, I already playing with big men. Clive Legister used to be my captain. I already have a century in community cricket playing with big men. So it's a totally different challenge. And as he said, when I do it, you don't need no glasses, you don't need no rocket science to know that US is gonna take over the cricket in the region. Cricket and soccer is the two most fast growing thing in the North America, in the Caribbean. And once the United States see where they can tap in, they're gonna make a lucrative amount of money out of it. So there's no doubt, and they are doing the right things. All the good coaches is leaving Jamaica, and they're going there because they're getting better salary, and they have parents who are very supportive when it comes to the grassroots program. Take the kids to training, sit down, wait on them. It's a whole different structure. So we trust me, we're gonna leave behind if we are not behind already. Because the politics of the cricket in the Caribbean, too much money is being spent at the top. All these people, they need to come back down to earth, as what Link is saying. I don't have to spell it out. Everybody know.
Well, you mentioned a strong point there, Carl, and that is about the politics. And last night we had Darren Powell. We all know about Pow Pow because we went to STETHS together. And he was making mention of years ago. And this is where two of our West Indian past players, they are here building from grassroots up to roof, meaning foundation cricket, taking it all the way to what we see happening here. US, one of the US team, they have two teams in the tournament. One is unbeaten, beatable right now, beating up everybody. And guess what? Who are two of the top coaches behind this? Ricardo Powell have an academy up here. Who we drafting? Brenton Parchment, who was down there in Jamaica, and I understand he was working with the youths, but he did not get the support. They did not call him when opening was available, and he was one of them who was actually, you'd say he was giving back to his country, because I don't think he was getting paid. He is one of the top coaches in terms of certification. And if you have a man like that who represent West Indies at the highest level and them come and want to be a part of the program and somehow you met them and they escape and see them, they're here in the US. A part of the building block of the US cricket is two locals right there, St. Elizabeth and Manchester. All of us here is between those two places, St. Elizabeth and Manchester. How do we allow our cricketers, our past players with all these experience, taking it to somewhere else? Can you explain that, Lenky? Otherwise, Mr. Delroy?
Like Carl said, we know the politics. All right. So I'll tell you this right off on. Two of our better schoolboy coaches. Carl is one of them. There is Mr. Oral Sims, who coached Mede, and Mr. Bailey at Excelsior. None of those coaches were even approached to be part of the national setup. You're the best coaches, but coaches who are professional will not accept stupidness. And you're going to tell a coach that you're going to have a team campaign, young boys, and you're going to give them stew chicken for breakfast and hard food. And they know how important nutrition is to a young player. And because a coach objects to such foolishness, you're going to blacklist him. Bailey, I know talk only, but him talk the right thing. He's one of the better coaches. Excelsior has been doing excellent. Mr. Simpson has brought Stephanie Taylor, Rashada Williams, and many more cricketers out of Elton. You don't neglect those coaches. You use them to develop your program. You should be a women's national team coach. He has the best record in women cricket. He produced the West Indies captain and many more of those girls that play now. So it's just the politics. And if me and you no friend, I mean, I agree with what you say, you blacklist me. It's very simple. And they will continue, and it will continue to fail. Cricket is a business, you know. You will see how US use it as a business. It is a business. The West Indies is a stock that is failing. Right now, nobody don't want to go to the one day. Because Jamaicans don't take PR cricket. They like quality cricket. Right? They might just go to the love for it. But the stock is failing. It's all about making money with the quality players. You're not producing quality players, then you're not going to make money.
All right. Carl Wright, question for you. And I've heard it many times. Them said it 2020 mash up the cricket in the Caribbean. And I want you to look at it at 2 ways. I want you to weigh in on you guys playing T20 in Jamaica and the Headley Cup that can be played over 3-4 days. I'm not sure how many the longest version when you reach a semi-final, final. But can you weigh in on this in terms of the two different formats? Like, or even three. You want to go from T20, 1 day, and the test match. Tell us if that have an effect on our cricket.
Ian, as I said, right, when I come on before in the program earlier, there shall be water in abundance. And you know the rest. I don't have to spell it out. You look and see all of the great batsmen that dominate world cricket at this current moment. They play all three formats. So there is no excuse of bringing T20 cricket. The world is what it is now. You have to learn to cope and adapt. If you look at a Virat Kohli, a Kane Williamson, a Rohit Sharma, a Stephen Smith, a Kane Williamson, all of these guys, K. Rahul, all of these guys play all the formats of the game. So we have no excuse. It's just that we are in the Caribbean here. And because how the cricket still at the franchise level in Jamaica, people tend to not want to play test cricket because, as you know, we can go and make a food. So they rather to go to the shorter version. But it's not an excuse. And none of these players that we are saying that T20 mashup, they are not world players. And the world players are playing. So it's just, as I said, is the philosophy, what the narrative that people is selling, it is wrong. Because if you look like a guy like even Oral Tracy, a guy like Oral Tracy, max sports in the Caribbean. And those are the type of narrative where people pick up and you hear a man say, oh, I watch Oral Tracy. A person is going to say, okay, you know, I watch a nice little youngster today. I'm going to tell you about what Oral Tracy says about the football or the cricket. That's how it is. People sell the wrong things and it's easy to catch on. There's no such thing as T20 mash up anything. Most of these teams have their T20 squad, they have their 50 over squad, and they have their test squad. And there's no, it's probably Uncle Shea Hope and Brandon King play all format, and they're not a dominant player as batsman. So once you can bat at any level. You understand what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Yes. The T20 is not, you know, as the coach, you have to make sure that you do what you have to do at this level in terms of like schoolboy, because you know you have the one squad that play all the format. And it's, as Lenky said, it's difficult. Hard deal with them youth. It's not easy.
All right, all right. You are waiting for that. And then,
Look,
right?
yeah, man, I am saying I share Carl's view, but look at it. We used to play cricket for joke when Clive Lyden and all them man they are playing. It's not a business. The shorter version of the game, it's quicker, it finished quick, which will suit the US very, very well, similar to basketball. As generation change, you have to change with it. If you can bat, you bat anywhere. You know how much over you need to bat, you make your adjustment, right? You don't have no 3 day or no 4 day or 5 day bat. You make your adjustment. If you can bat, you can bat, right? You know when to attack and you know when to defend, right? And not just so cricket guys a game. If you learn it and understand it right, 2020, 50 over test make no difference, right? Because, like I said, it's a business. Shorter version pull more crowd and it's more entertaining, right? It's just that you play a French domino or you play a regular domino. It's just a different, the same domino, same cricket, you just have to adjust. And that is the problem with some of our batters. Them concentration level is very, very poor, right? They cannot concentrate for long period, right? If you look at a guy like Amla from South Africa, you wonder how he's going out. Because you can see in concentration level, every ball is play of merit, right? Every ball. But you are chipped down to Australia top pace. Brother, a cricketer play, you think you can chip to a pace, you can't even back up. I give away your wicket. So you see all them foolish, you say, angry a lot of people who understand the game, and we have to do better, you know. I don't know where we start, but I think we have to go back to leadership. Dave Cameron win all formats of West Indies cricket. Dave, you might not like him, but what you don't have to like him, his performance is going to judge your presidency. You make 27 runs as a president against, it don't matter who you make it against, it's just embarrassing. But that might not even change because the politics of who elect who and the 2 votes from each country is about 4 countries, about 8 votes decide who lead us in. And when a man get him perks and him sweetness from the administration, they think him going to get the 2 votes. And that is our problem, the politics of the cricket, right? And leadership is going to come down to leadership. And leaders who understand the game and understand where we need to go as a country, as a nation, yeah?
All right, then, right. We'll go down to something which is same thing that happen in a track and field, it happen in football, and we see it happen in cricket. It's not in a cricket that you change allegiance to another country. But we have seen where we have quality players now who would represent us, I would say, better in the test series or in a one-day series, and based on the nature of the player, the T20 version. But we see some of these players, instead of representing the West Indies, we see them playing in IPL, CPL, they're playing down by Dubai, they're playing here in the US, just franchise cricket. How do you see this and how is it affecting West Indies on a whole? In that we don't have the best cricketer that representing with us anymore.
Well, one of the things we can do, we can't stop a man from to earn a living to take care of his family. The days of loyalty and patriotic to West Indies is over. But if we had the nursery that were producing the young hens, the young chicken, then to a point, if we were producing young players who's vying to take over, then the exodus from those teams would make a difference, right? Because we're not producing fast enough. We don't have anybody to replace. And here's where we come to these batters who they are mediocre batters because we have not refilled. We don't fill the gap up. The guys moving on, we're not filling the gap, right? The players that is stepping up is not ready. So until we start develop the nursery, until we start develop the cricket from under 11 and go through the system, we're going to have a problem and then that come back again. Like I tell you, it's leadership. Leadership with vision. What is the West Indies Youth Development Program plan? What is it? How much money you intend to spend into it? Right? A man reach a level when he can make a money off IPL now. It's unfair for you to say to him, why I come play for West Indies. It's unfair. But him know him can make him money. Unless West Indies is willing to pay these players what I'm getting at IPL. Right? But if you are not producing quality players, right? If you're not producing quality players, you get less game, and your team have the value. Where we're sitting now, about ninth in T20, and I don't know where we sit, probably about 7 or 6 in Test. So we are way down at the bottom. So there's no interest to play West Indies because other countries want to play teams that they can get competition from and they can improve their game, right? And if we're at the bottom, we're not the first team to go to play a series. Series finishing in 2 days, 3 days, it don't help. And that is our problem. Our problem starts with leadership. Don't bother blame Sammy this that. Blame who employ him. See him as the best coach and employee. Don't blame. And I'll go back to that a little. And the positive of the test team is the bowling, because the bowling is excellent. When you can get 20 wickets in a test, that is great. To bowl out the top team in the world. I know we're angry now. We're very angry because it's still bowl for 27, but the positive from it is the bowlers. Right? The bowlers were very positive, getting 20 wickets right through the series against a top team like Australia. So we just need to work on the batting department. Yeah?
All right, Carl Wright. Thanks for coming back in. The question was, Carl Wright, just as we have seen in track and field now, and it is big, we have just lost a few of our world athletes to Turkey. We have seen it in soccer, people leaving Jamaica, going overseas to play in different divisions. But the same thing hang over cricket, where we see we're not basically playing our best 11 that we have here in the Caribbean. What happened? Most of these guys are playing in IPL, CPL, down in Dubai, franchise cricket, all of these stuff. Tell me your views on it. Because a lot of people they're not changing allegiance, but they are available to play, but they're not playing because of probably they're getting far more money outside of our region. Weigh in on this.
Well, the cricket, to me, the cricket and the soccer is kind of different. People are getting paid enough that they can represent their region and represent their country when it comes to cricket because they're making enough. I know, you know, but with it and the track and field aspect of it now, I don't think Jamaica is placing enough emphasis on the track and field department. So if somebody want to go and fulfill their full potential and having something and make something of their life, I'm fine with that because at the end of the day, we all know that if you are doing something, everyone wants to get paid and you're representing your country. And you're, so if there's an opportunity for you, have no problem with these people. These people have a life, they have a family, they have people to take care of. And if the opportunity comes, they can go ahead. But in the cricket, a guy he plays CPL, he played Pakistan Premier League, he played Big Bash. He don't have to go to all these tournaments. He can also reserve to represent the West Indies. So it's in the cricket or the soccer, it's kind of different. If a guy like a Leon Berry plays for Aston Villa, he's making already making enough money. Jamaica don't have to play to represent their country. So it's different. It's totally different. But with the track and field aspect, everybody's making a noise about no, let these people go make something out of their lives.
All right, thank you. Well, I say the same thing. It's just like I went to high school in Jamaica. I went to college there, but at the end of the day, I get interviewed for a few different posts with different company. I am saying the man that put the most money on the table, the man that have that offer that support my family, whether they're giving me insurance that cover my family health, they give me a house and a roof, they give me transportation. I will definitely pick that over one that basically just giving me a little meager pay. So in that sense, I have no problem with them. I would just say that guess what? They have to step up their game, find some way to incentivize these athletes if we want to keep them there in Jamaica. We can say how we want to say, but at the end of the day, a trophy not gonna do it, and a medal not gonna do it for the family. So uh, that's the way I see this athletic side of it. But cricket, that come with a different passion for me. I definitely want to see the best players out on the field. But as I said, and you guys have basically just bring it home, is that the politics is affecting our cricket, the infrastructure is affecting our cricket, the support affecting our cricket. And I just say, I remember back in our days, we have several leagues, going on. Carib Cement putting on a league, Alpart putting on a league, and you had a lot of kids coming through, like programs like those would have brought you to states, playing in these Carib Cement and JB and them, man, they can scout and see a early talent. Now in my area, I don't even see a field. Russell, I don't see them playing cricket. I don't see Red Bank with a field. You know, I don't hear that that youth here come out a man inside and them a make 140, 150 every week. If them not get spot by somebody who just say, boy, that youth look like he can hold him back. Well, that may just be it. And then we can tell that many, many of us, if it wasn't for cricket, where would we be? So, you know, that's another thing that I see. So on the ground there, you guys are there. How is sponsorship? What is happening with that? There, right?
Sponsorship, that's a thing of the past. Because you have to understand Jamaicans how they operate. They will give the business people very sports conscious. As states might get some help because states have a past student body, right? But sponsorship is, you don't see that no more. The schools, which I see the state's principal made an article the other day, and I agree with it. The school, which have to put in all the money into the schoolboy cricket, that is what is feeding the national team, And the school don't get no money directly from the cricket board, because the cricket board is the body who's supposed to develop the cricket. Right? Cricket, I don't know how much Carl them might spend at states, but if you reach semi-final in the Headley Cup, you're looking at about 3.5 million or more, easy. Right? And that is just one school. And that's why a lot of schools don't even play, because they cannot afford it. They rather put the money into sponsorship will more come for track and field, football, and all the other sports. And one of the things for that is that the game is not highlighted. You have to reach finals, semi-finals, quarter-finals for the paper to even write anything on the cricket. So if a sponsor not seeing a team playing You can't just write him a letter expect him to give you money. They know about the Sets, Manchester, those teams are the top teams. So if Sets or Manchester Arcs, they probably will get some assistance, but other than that, nothing. And I really think the board should put some of the money into the schoolboy cricket, especially at the under 13, under 16 age group, so that the school can have some money to spend, pay the coaches some more money, and get some more coaches for one coach coaching three teams. You think that easy? You don't even have time for your family. Because when you finish at the cup, you have to go under 40, under 16, under 14. It's just a
Yeah,
love for it.
I was talking about that earlier. The
It's
pressure.
just a love. It's just a love for it with these coaches. Do you think it's easy to travel in and out for probably about 9, 8 months? Right? So these are some of the things that has to be addressed.
All right, Carl Wright. We're gonna let you close it out, from
Hey,
your end.
Ian, you see what Lenk is saying?
Yeah.
Is right. But let me tell you something. You see these principal at the school? Let me tell you something. I don't know if you may agree, but these principal at the school, they are pushing this narrative about football and track and field. And they're not pushing cricket. You know why they're pushing football and track and field? Because they can lock the school gate and they collect a fee. That's why they place so much emphasis on all these sports. And if a schoolboy footballer or a schoolboy track and field becomes creditable and can go overseas, they are the agent. In cricket, it's kind of different. It's just the individual. And that's why they are not pushing enough money into cricket. They can lock the school gate tomorrow at the Costa Cup match and a whole bunch of people come. Because they can collect at the gate. But one thing I can tell them, name me one Jamaican that born and grew in Jamaica that is a millionaire out of football. Show me him. You can name me a numerous amount of cricketers. So at the end of the day, these principals have sense and they use their brains. That's why they are the principal. They know that when a cricketer evolve, it's only him and his family. When a footballer or a track and field person evolve, they can be the agent and them are going to make a food. They can fool other people, but they can't fool me. Because it's not easy for the fool to catch on to something that is seen, that is wise. So you fool me once, can't get fooled again. Yes, and that's why they're not pushing enough emphasis on cricket. They tell you about cricket is expensive. We know it's been expensive from morning. And back then, we used to have less opportunity. Now it's different opportunity. Numerous. So why they are not pushing the narrative? All right, look. They don't teach PE, cricket in PE at no farmer high school. That's what they need to introduce. They need to pay the cricket coach them a little extra, as what Lenky said, to come in a little bit earlier and instill the cricket and build the cricket. Everybody's just looking and saying, oh, cricket is this, cricket is that. No, we have to do something about it. But they don't want to pay nothing about cricket because guess what? When one stump jump up, nobody now go there. But make it jump up internationally, that's what happened. So, Carl, Ian, it's all about that. And I've just submitted.
Well, I see the challenges that you guys are facing in the cricket, and definitely these things spill over to the West Indies. So now we can have a better idea what is happening in the West Indies. Our batters not able to bat a day, 2 days. So definitely we're gonna have problems going forward with our test matches, concentration, support. Everything seems to be lacking on the ground from the grassroots level. And if we don't have it at the grassroots level, we can't expect these athletes to come and perform at the top stage, beating a top team if we are not fully prepared and ready. And I would say I would like to see more support for the cricket. It's a game that I love dearly, and you know that And Carl, it's a game that I'm very passionate about. And as a matter of fact, because of that, I've given a lot of energy to cricket. And right here in the USA, wherever the cricket is, you find here, and even if it's just with my phone, I just get a little clip so somebody can see it somewhere else. You can see it and say, yo, me like that game, and maybe interested in that game, and me want to play that game. Whatever I can do
Definitely.
for cricket, I try to do it. And I wish that more people would come on and give the support. I hear your cry there, Carl Wright. I came to States and I saw you and the team roll the cricket pitch to go out go play the next day. And I never used to see that back in the days. We used to have groundsmen. When we get our practice wicket, it is as beautiful as a wicket that is ready that you could play a test on. And that was like every evening. But now I can see the challenge. But in all of that, I just want to say respect to you and the youths, because I just see you and around the program right across under 14 and 16 and Headley Cup. Hats off to you, and all the other coaches, Delroy and the media coach, Manchester High, who are more tacky. The school and that's doing well. Obviously, they have to have great coaches, Excelsior, that is love of the sports, because we can realize that it's not that they're getting all the support, but it's that love and I love the game and I love the sports and I want to see how you go forward. So I'd have called all of the principal them start looking more on the game, and as we Carl Wright say, there's a lot of money to be made, and if you can allow and give that support to a youth, that youth may turn back and do so much for the school. But if you not get the support at the grassroots level, now feel like you ever want to look back later on. So, all these is what is hanging over the West Indies and our world. As I said, spill over. And until we start doing something at the grassroots level, which we have learned a lot here this afternoon between these two gentlemen who are involved with schoolboy cricket and community cricket, you know. So, Carl Wright, I just want to say thank you very much for taking the time out to be here this evening. I said the same thing, Delroy. Thumbs up and a respect for what you're doing over there at Mayday. And if any one of you want to say anything else, well, you're fine. But if not, just want to thank the viewers, who have come on and listen, who will be sharing and supporting the cricket and help us build a better West Indies, because we know a lot of us, we're still passionate about the game, but we don't like to lose it. 27, no, we never see that number they come, because we not play netball or them type of sport, they are football. We are play cricket. All right.
Yes,
All
Ian,
right, guys.
it's always a pleasure
Cool.
coming on. So, Lenky, big up yourself, brother. I think
No
it's a challenge there,
problem.
but
Respect. Yeah,
have to
man.
deal
Thank
with
you
it.
for inviting me. We'll talk again. All right. Respect. Yeah.
Blessing. All right, Carl. Right. Blessing again, my brother.
Yes, my brother, respect.